What up, Westworld fans? Johnny B. Crazy here. Today we're going to talk about the multiple Bernard theory. In the previous episode of Westworld, Phase Space, we found out Ford's consciousness is alive and in the cradle. We now know he has been manipulating and even controlling Host. Also, in regards to Bernard, Hale seems to be waking up Bernard in the previews for Episode 7. Let's call him New Bernard. It is possible there were two Bernards last season, and I'm almost positive there's two in this season. One Bernard controlled by Ford, or is Ford, and the new Bernard, awoken by Hale. Let's look back at Season 1 when Bernard choked out Elsie. It seems that Bernard is with Teresa Cullen at the time of Elsie's incident. We know now Ford had Bernard take her and is using her in his plan. Bernard still doesn't seem to remember this. I think Ford had another Bernard, an identical Doppelbot. As long as they don't get close enough to one another with the hive mind, no problems should ensue. The Doppelbots now seem to confirm this for me, and we know that Ford was more than capable of it. No, I don't think Ford has two Bernards running around this season. I do believe Ford will give Bernard a new narrative, or more intriguingly, his artificial brain. Bernard's control unit is outside of his body at the moment. He's completely vulnerable. Ford may put the control unit Bernard stole inside Bernard's brain, but I think Ford might have downloaded his consciousness onto the control unit. But honestly, I think Bernard's just going to get all jacked up by Ford, like Teddy did by Dolores, or Ford Loris. I believe Ford's going to have Bernard take out the cradle, knowing how important it is to Carl Strand and Company and the corporate research group. And as we know, Ford has a backup for everything, and I believe he has a backup to the cradle. It's foreshadowed in Season 1 when Bernard finds the secret lab. Seems to me that Ford had Bernard wipe all the hosts and place them in the sea in the valley beyond, effectively destroying all the intellectual property that is so valuable to the corporate research group. Now to new Bernard. Charlotte Hale, possibly Charlie, seems to be very observant of Bernard all season. She is acting odd to say the least. Could she know who Arnold was, or who Arnold is? In my opinion, Hale knows Bernard is a host. We've seen the previews of Hale and the Room of Bernards. We know Charlotte is deeply involved in the Immortality Project. As previously stated, you can see and hear her waking up Bernard in the previews. Dolores is attacking the Mesa hub, presumably while Bernard is in the cradle. Charlotte will somehow escape when Dolores rescues Abernathy. To cover her ass and find Abernathy, Hale has to awaken a new Bernard. Hence, when we see Bernard wake up on the beach without a scar and doesn't reach for his glasses. Every time in the past when Bernard woke up, Ford taught him to use his glasses. This seems to be a clue. New Bernard is glitching, and memories from both Bernards seem to be converging. I think the two Bernards are getting closer together in the hive mind, or the old Bernard is now Ford. Is there just one Bernard, or are there two? I'd like to give a shout out to AU Pack Mule, and to LMR, and to Jen Wolverton of Lady Wolverton's Den. I'd also like to give a shout out to all the gangbangers of Thrones and Cameo. I gotta wrap up my short and sweet video. If you like, hit the subscribe button. And this is Johnny B. Crazy, signing off before my phone explodes.